This is FSD supervised 12.3.3. I went to the Lakeland subreddit over on Reddit and I asked for a bunch of suggestions on where to take the car to try and see where the problem areas are for a self-driving car in Lakeland, and I got a lot of really good suggestions. So I'm going to try and loop through some of them now. I've got a list of waypoints that I'm going to try and cycle the car through, and we'll see what happens. And I'm just going to remove the waypoints as we go. So the main reason for trying to do this drive is because I do a lot of test loops, and a lot of my current test loops are basically getting resolved. So I need new problems to go look at. Or I want new problems to go look at. I don't need them. I'm going to put bookmarks below. Just skip to those for the interesting bits, or watch the video at twice the speed, whichever. It'll be a long, boring drive. So for those less familiar with how the system works, you can tell it's engaged by this blue wheel in the top corner and the fact that there's a blue line in front of the car. So anytime I am driving, those two blue things will turn gray. When the car is driving, those things are blue. You might also end up seeing a lot of blue at the top. That will happen if I've taken my hand off the wheel. The system is meant to be currently it's meant to be driven with at least a hand on the wheel, and the car is doing the maneuvers, but my hand is there to stop it from doing something stupid if it tries to do something stupid. One of the requests was a roundabout at a place called Five Corners, and that's where we're headed now. My understanding is it is a 5-way roundabout, so we'll see what we get. Some of the trip planners online show it as under construction. I know one of the roads that gets there is closed. Yeah, it's closed. I can't go that way. Alright, so this will be the first disengagement where I route around the road closure. And that's largely because that roundabout is still under construction. It'll be neat to test though when it's done. So we're going to edit the trip and remove the first pin. And we will re-engage. road closures and things of that nature, still a bit of a sticking point. I did not go there first. I knew Sloan was closed, but it looked open when I looked through the roads, but there you have it. Currently, I can't test it. Someone else had asked for how does it handle blinking red lights. Not well. So it did cause some confusion. The car on the right didn't know whether or not they were supposed to take the turn. This is no turn on red, so the car needs to wait. And I've got this open because once I take the right turn, I'm going to immediately eliminate that first waypoint. And, oh, we need to wait. We can't go on right turn on red here. There it is. And then the next one here is a 90-degree blind right turn. So we'll see how it handles that. And I'm largely using the waypoints to try and force the car along a specific route that shows all the things. I'm trying to see what it does, how it does. How and what. So I would go after this white SUV. It is going. So it does stutter a bit for the blinking reds, but it does cooperate with them. I didn't know this road was closed when I plotted around it. That's just convenience on my part. Now it should wait for the pedestrians to clear. And still got problems with the blinking red. Alright, so I'm gonna... Nobody's behind me, so I'm just gonna give it a minute. Okay, I'm going to hit the accelerator. So the other blinking reds I imagine worked fine because it was an associated stop sign. That one it did not cooperate with at all. Nope. That right lane is a turn lane, which I don't want to do. I want to go straight here. It needs to go straight here, not turn. So some of the road tips it does have issues with. And again, I'm trying to force it along a specific path. That is because I spent too much time staring at the screen. There we go. Nicely done. So, this needs to be in the left lane. Yeah. sure I know what I'm doing. I mean, admittedly, it's confusing because the straight-through lane requires you to do this angle. It's not what you would expect to do there. But best description I've been able to give this version of self-driving is that it drives like a tourist, in that it knows where it's going, but some of the local minutiae of how the roads work are missing. Those navigation tips are one of the things where it shoots itself in the foot from time to time. And then I'm trying to force it to take a right turn on a road called Success Avenue, I think it is. Yep, Success Avenue. I think the main thing the person was wanting to see was how it would react to this oval thing in the middle of the road. You know what? That was too close for my comfort. So my car, obviously, I don't want to damage my rims. The intersection is built, or not the intersection, the oval is built in such a way that I should be able to roll over the oval just a little bit, but I wasn't comfortable with how it was going to do it, so I'll try it again another time. My car, I don't want to wreck my car. And then the other one was someone wanted it to go down this Johnson Avenue, which is a one-way this way. Please pay attention. Yep, there we go. And largely because it's a rough road, I believe. There's a car coming now, you gotta wait. And then another one right behind it. No, that's weird. next up is a roundabout, because everybody loves to see a roundabout. Last time I did this roundabout, it was raining and wet. Or no, it had just rained and it was wet, so it's kind of weird. There's a police officer. I'm not driving my car, dude. Okay, so it stopped there because she drifted towards the crosswalk and the car thought she was going to cross the crosswalk. When she moved away from it, the car proceeded. So it tried to yield to that pedestrian. Oh, shit, I forgot to edit. Move. Done. Yep, that's good. Okay. Oh, it's cute. They gave it a little bicycle stop light. So this is the tourist angle of how self-driving drives. We'll see how it corrects itself here. Is sometimes the navigational tips are missing. And I'll force it to make a right turn if it tries to go straight. Because there are too many cars for this thing to correct itself. Yeah, now you gotta turn right. Tried to go straight from a right turn only lane. Now those little pop-ups down there are how I send feedback back to Tesla about the mistakes the software is making. But again, it's one of the reasons why I was looking for different places to drive, is because a lot of my problems are resolved. So I'm looking for new problems. Oh, this is interesting. I was not expecting it to do this. Yeah, you're gonna hit the can. I felt like I was gonna hit a garbage can there while trying to reroute around the last mistake. Okay. I'm gonna have to do this on the next release. Learning a lot. There's a car coming from the right, it is yielding to. And now it should go. So, and some of this makes sense. The way that the self-driving system is trained is it's trained based on video clips of how other people drive, and the navigation information is supposed to be through what they refer to as multi-trip reconstruction, where the more Teslas that drive through an area, regardless of whether or not they have self-driving on them or not, it's supposed to pick up data about the roads and inform the system. Now, the Cleveland Heights road seems like a road that other Teslas should have absolutely driven on before, and have provided the tooltips that are necessary, or the navigational tips that are necessary, but I don't know. That's why we drive it around and see what it can do. he's mapping the area, so it should have known that that was a right turn only lane. But that's why it's FSD supervised. Should have just gone, and it went good. Okay, close enough. Who honked at me? What? Oh, you know what? Their light turned green, and someone wanted the other guy to go. Okay, I thought that was at me. So here, Pipkin Rd is under construction. All eastbound traffic is redirected, and I think westbound traffic travels in the eastbound lanes, because that makes sense. And the car wants to go to Florida and then back to Pipkin, but if I can cross, then I'm going to disengage, cross it, and re-engage. So we'll see what we get here. Oh no, that's what we want to do right there. Okay, I don't need to do anything. Well, in theory, I don't need to do anything. Alright, let's see how you handle this. Now, I have done this before, unrecorded, on the last version. I forget which one it was, and it did not go well. It did not like the idea of traveling in the oncoming traffic lane. So, this is either going to look really neat or really bad. Or the road geometry has changed completely from the last time I've been out here. It's been a little bit. And there are cars ahead of me, and it should kind of follow their lead. Oh, is it not under construction anymore? Boo! This whole thing used to be opposing lane only. It's all been adjusted, so we'll see how long this lasts. But this is not what I was expecting when I came here. Slows for the train track so as to not ruin your suspension for it. Some train tracks. Maybe next time I need to come at this from the other way. I don't want to go back to Lakeland. Yeah, next time I'll test it in the other direction. Next time I think I'll do the loop backwards or backwards adjacent. Because I know Johnson is a one-way street in that one direction, but it also handled Johnson fine. So I might just not do Johnson the next time I do this. So yeah, so the next time I do this, I think what I'll do is I'll not do Johnson and then do the whole loop backwards. But I won't do that until they release the next version. Because these drives are time consuming. White Tesla behind me. It took my eyes off the road for a second, and anytime you're near the construction barrels, even if you have your hand on the wheel, once your eyes leave the road, it goes whoop whoop, gives you an audible warning. business entrances are harsh. Oh, there's the car entrance. That's less harsh. If you want to watch it, not great if you're trying to focus. So that's the construction. Handled it fine, but it also wasn't the construction I was expecting it to have to handle. That is less severe than the last time I went through there. It's also not the best about getting out of the left-hand lane. You asshole. So that's it. So obviously some issues here and there. The oval in Success Avenue, I think, was more me. Oh, this is gonna be bad. Did not use the correct turn lane. So obviously some room for improvement there. Interesting that it fell on its face towards the end, but again, a lot of how the system works is dependent on other Tesla drivers having driven in the same area, right? So the more Teslas you have in an area, the more a person drives a certain route, the better that route is going to work, which again is one of the reasons why I wanted to do what I did, because I wanted new data. I wanted different data, which I got. So the Success Avenue Oval, I don't know. I'll have to do that one again. When it's your car on the line and you curb something, it's your money that's being spent trying to fix the thing, right? And I'm not interested in spending my money in fixing things. So, I disengaged out of an abundance of safety. Now that I'm more familiar with the oval, I don't know that I would have disengaged, because the oval is not as raised as I thought it was. It's more graded. I don't know, whatever the word there is. It's a lot less harsh than I was expecting. The Johnson Street thing it did fine. The 90-degree turn at Lake Mirror, it did that fine. Getting to it and away from it, it got confused on the traffic tips, but outside of that, it worked fine. So obviously they need to work on their navigation tips. There was that one spot where it got into a right-hand turn when it should not have gotten into a right-hand lane to go straight. corrected there, and it did not avoid it looked like it was going to hit a garbage can there when it was trying to correct from all that garbage. And of course at the very end, it was going to take that turn at too high a speed. But again, what it was supposed to do, I'll show on the map here, I was plotting it to here, and it lined itself up for this turn. And what I believe it was going to do is just try and go straight, but there was a median thing here, so that wasn't an option. So, obvious room for improvements. But, you know, it handled construction on Pipkin fine, albeit it was not the construction I was expecting it to see. So, yeah, I think I might make this the newer test loop, because that's definitely a pretty good variety of issues. So, but yeah, thanks for watching, and thank you for the suggestions on where to try the car to see if it can self-drive in those areas. That was educational.